Hi, good evening, everybody. I hope everyone had a wonderful Easter weekend. And if you weren't celebrating Easter, I hope you had a nice long weekend, a bit of extra time off work or extra, dare I say, extra time with the family at this moment in time. But maybe just some downtime together. Um, anyway, hi, my name's Tamsin, and I work with full-time mums and dads to help them work part-time to fit around having more children. Um, I will post the link to the group below this, so please do come and join us. It's parents wanting to work from home. So last week I spoke about overwhelm, and I thought I'd actually break it down into something that's a bit more tangible, into steps. I kind of dealt with just how emotionally I dealt with it, but I remember becoming a mum. It was bonkers. You suddenly have no time for anything, and yeah, just the simplest of tasks became really onerous for me. I remember the laundry piling up, and oh heavens, meals going out the window, lots of takeaways being ordered because I just, yeah. So anyway, that I thought I'd actually put into format. It's easy to follow. I've got a couple of checklists. They're really simple. You may or may not need them. I just thought it might be nice just to have something just to print out instead of having to listen to me talk again if you want to see what I do. So anyway, so the first step that I find helps with getting over overwhelm or dealing with overwhelm is getting organized. So the first thing for me, and this is getting organized so that you're able to work around having a child. Um, are you an owl or are you a lark? Do you work best at night? Do you work best in the morning? Um, I am most definitely a lark. So I'm coming into my best season. I absolutely love this. I'll wake up with the sunshine. If my husband would agree with it, I'd have the curtains open all the time because I love waking up to sunshine. However, he's an owl. So, but anyway, that's by the by. Um, so I'm a lark. So I wake up before Zara does. My alarm goes off at 4 in the morning. I hasten to add, I don't always get up at 4, especially if she's had a really bad night's sleep. Sometimes I might still be in with her. But as and when I can, I get up at 4, and that's 5, 6 days a week. And I will squeeze in a couple of hours, sometimes if I'm lucky, 2.5 hours of work before she wakes up. And after my Easter weekend resolutions, where I just had a bit of time and would you believe it, sat back and thought about what I really wanted to achieve for the rest of this year or even for the next quarter, I'm going to start trying to do a bit of training in the morning. Not very much, but 15 minutes, half an hour. So anyway, so I'm a lark. So my alarm goes off before, but then I don't try and do anything too hectic in the evening. So this time, once I sign off from you guys, I am generally heading up to bed, read a bit of a book, and yeah, then go to sleep. So are you a lark or are you an owl? Fitting your working time around that. Don't try and make your body do something that it's really not programmed or tuned into doing. 2, turn off all distractions. It's so easy to get distracted in the morning by messages that have come in overnight, especially for me because I go to bed relatively early, so I've got friends who don't have children who will send me messages 10, 11, 12 at night, and I'm not up to read them. So the best thing is to not, I find, is to not look at my phone until I'm finished work and then start the day with the phone. I don't open my emails unless there is something in there that I need to action. And the same with Facebook, although I'll open my pages and a couple of groups that I'm in to make sure that I can get on with work and actions from them and make sure that I'm interacting with the people that I'd like to add value to. So that's number 2. And the mistake that I made with that, I didn't actually add to the mistake that I made with the first time. When I first had Zara, I tried to do both. I stayed up until 11 at night, and then I woke up at 4 in the morning. But when she was a newborn, so I was still waking every 1 to 2 hours whilst I was sleeping with her, and I was exhausted. Didn't quite doesn't quite come close to it. So yeah, so when best time to work, apologies, as you can see, I'm still going from notes here. Best time to work, stick to the lark or the owl. Don't try and do both, unless of course you're a superhuman or you don't need any sleep. I never thought I needed too much sleep, but when you have broken sleep, it's completely different than just having a 4 or 5 hour chunk, to me anyway. So my mistake with first one was trying to do both. And it nearly broke me. So maybe don't try and do both. Second one, turn off all distractions. My mistake, I am a serial grasshopper, so when I first started trying to work around Zara properly, I'd be doing everything. My phone would go and I'd check the message, oh, I need to action that. So anything that I was actually working on, I'd just get sidetracked from, and I'd end up going across, and I'd have dozens of pages open at the top of my internet browser, all with things for me to action. But I'd never write them down. I'd just leave everything open and just hop from one to the other as and when my attention was taken by it. So I'd turn everything off, all of the distractions, and then I do the next one is I follow my top 3 priorities. So generally before I go to bed tonight, I will now write what I want to achieve first thing tomorrow morning. So when I wake up tomorrow morning, I don't have to sit there and think about, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes, it can be enough to get you off track, I find, in the morning. So tonight before I go to bed, I'll write down the top 3 things, maybe 4 if I'm feeling very ambitious, that I'd like to get done tomorrow, first thing in the morning. And that will be that. If anything else comes to mind, I'll always jot it down, but it won't actually be what I'll action tomorrow. And that comes from learning that I used to put way too much on my to-do list. And then I used to get so disheartened because I'd never finish it. I'd never get through it. It never felt like anything was coming off it. It just felt like it was getting longer and longer and longer and longer. And the one thing about that I've taught myself is with working from home around my daughter, which is what I want to do, things just take a little bit more time. Not a lot, but just a little bit. If it's just slow and steady, chipping away at that goal, making steady steps every day, you actually do get there, I've found, in a relatively quick time because your time is more focused. I could have spent all day doing 3 or 4 things before I had my daughter. It's amazing how quickly you can get things done when you only have a certain amount of time to play with after practice. And if it's also something that you're passionate enough about and it's high enough in your values, you will find that you make the most of the time that you have it. It doesn't pass that quickly. So yeah, so those are for getting organized. 1, best time to work. 2, turn off all your distractions. And 3, list your top 3 priorities and just work through those. And don't get distracted. Work through them one by one and don't get distracted until you finish them, or don't go off and do something else until you finish them. Now, in order to enable that to happen, there are things that I do as well. So how do you make sure that the time that you have set aside for work doesn't get taken up with laundry or cooking or something like that could crop up? So the first thing is I meal plan. That's one thing actually that I decided over Easter is I haven't been doing so much of it, and it has made things more hectic. I thought I was more focused and would be able to just cook as and when was needed. But with Zara getting bigger and more distractions, it's not. I only have one child, so I can only imagine if you have more, how much of a stress that could actually be. So it's one, decide how many times a week you want to cook, and then find something that's easy to cook for those days, or decide what you want to cook and batch cook. I generally do batch cooking because then I can cook certain things for Zara and certain things for me and certain things for my husband as and when, and it doesn't take up too much time on the day, so I can do big bits for all three of us, and then I can just defrost, and it's relatively quick on the day. The mistake I used to make was I tried to please everyone and do different meals every day for everyone. Now that my daughter's actually big enough, she can actually articulate what she wants. So it's getting a little bit harder. It's not just a case of here's your supper, you can either eat it or go hungry, because of course I want her to eat. So it's not as easy, but I generally have a few options in the freezer. And then 2, calendars and lists. I love a good list. I have lots of them. Trick is keeping track of them on one. So what I've now started actually doing is I have one book that I kind of carry around with me. It's just a small little A5 pad, and I carry that with me in the bag that I take upstairs and downstairs with me. It's what Zara brings downstairs in the morning, what she wants to bring down. So I always have it with me. So when I think of something, I just write it on there. Initially, I was having lists all over the place, and I couldn't remember what was on what. And sometimes pages would get torn out and you'd lose things. So I take one pad around with me. If you are not a writer, as in on paper, then perhaps do a little notes on your phone. I've never managed to use that properly. I always end up writing things down as well as putting things on there. So I just write things down now because I know that's actually what I prefer. Mistake that I made when I first started trying, or when I first became a mum, was I thought I'd remember everything. And I realized that baby brain is real, or at least it was for me. I just, life took on a whole different meaning, and there were so many different priorities to what happened before. So yes, so writing things down was the best thing, calendars and lists. And then also, as soon as I make an appointment, I put it into the joint calendar on my phone straight away. No ifs, no buts. If I don't do it straight away, I forget. And then if I forget, full stop. And I always put in a 24-hour reminder and a 1-week reminder. That's what works for me and for my husband. See what works for you and your family. And then number 3 is daily prep. Night before. So for example, it's not the case at the moment, but if we had swimming the next day, I'd get Zara's kit out the night before. I'd always get her outfits ready the night before. Try and get my clothes ready. I was always very good at organising her, but maybe not so much me. So when everything goes back to normal, for want of a better word, I should be refocusing on doing both of us. But yeah, so getting everything ready for the next day so that when you start your day, or should I say well, for me, when I finish my work and my daughter wakes up, I don't suddenly go, oh God, what's happening today, and try and pack everything and be frantic. And that generally has released a lot of stress and possible overwhelm that I have felt whilst trying to fit in work around an ever increasingly active toddler and one who's sleeping less and less. So I hope that's been of help. What I'll do is on the bottom of this, I'll post the link to our group, which is Parents Wanting to Work from Home. And then also I will just put in the PDFs just for the checklist and things like that. It's very simple, but as I said, it might be easy for you to follow and just check off. As I say, I love a list. So I have this on my corkboard in the morning, so I can just remember what I need to do. Yes, I hope you're all well, and do come and join us in our group, parents wanting to work from home. As I said, I'd really like to help as many parents find the balance that they want between parenting and working, which isn't generally the norm and which I didn't receive any support in this kind of forum. So do come and join us and make a lovely community. And you don't have to be a parent right now. You might be expecting, or you might be someone who thinks that they can help or have something to offer to parents wanting to work from home and having to juggle all the balls in the air to do it, to fit work around their children in the way that I have decided that I would like to do, and I'm doing my utmost to do. But until I see you again, have a good evening. Take care, and as I said, I'll pop those links in and speak to you soon. Okay, take care. Bye bye.